to another NASDAQ update. Now, it's been a little while since I've posted anything on this market, and that's because slowly things come out. As you observe things, you start to analyze in a different manner after you've sort of taken a little bit of a break from looking at the chart. And, I look at the chart periodically, but nothing pops out. But this morning, I am looking at this pattern and I'm thinking, you know what? This is very close to ending, right? But there's a big but. As you can see, there's an E wave, right? So what I'm trying to say is that this correction did not finish in March last year, right? So because we are dealing with, complex patterns here and fractal patterns, these patterns can be very deceptive, right? Now, in this case, the move up, I have decided to label it a D wave, right? And the simple reason for that is if you look at this move here, it's a 3-wave move, right? So you can't really make anything else out of that without, getting sloppy with the analysis. Okay, that's a clear 3-wave move. That's a B. That's a C. Now, in my opinion, that's kind of like a little bit of a weak wave C, right? And then the move up is a type 2 expanded zigzag, right? And it's not surprising that happened, with everything that's happened in the last year. It's no surprise really that that's happened the way that it has happened. Now, the thing is that what is coming next is going to be very, very interesting because it's not going to be the start of a crash. It's going to be the end of wave 4. And I do imagine that it's going to be pretty sharp. Usually when wave C is weak, the way this one was, wave E is a sharp one. Now at this point, a lot of participants in the market, they've all gone basically long and they're all invested in the market, right? So now we're not so much looking at this point at the top of, the NASDAQ per se. We're looking more for a short-term top that will complete the D wave, right? Just simply put, complete the D wave. So we don't need to worry about, doom and gloom scenarios just yet because we're just being, reactive to the situation in a way that's going to help us basically make profit, okay? So the way I see it now, right, is that wave C is almost complete, right? So we had our A wave initial move in March. We had the corrective patterns in the middle, right? Now I'll quickly turn them on so you can see, right? So we had, hang on one sec. One second. So obviously we had the expanded B wave, right? So I'll just turn on the rest of these labels just so you can see what's going on. Now, the A wave occurred, then the A, B expanded, and then C, and then D, and then E. So this kind of goes back to previous analysis and basically, we're just going to be very specific here and very just committed to this idea because when you look closely, it looks like all the waves are there. This is complete, right? But it's not a doom and gloom scenario, right? This is not a doom and gloom scenario, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that this is the count that we should use in order to prepare to short this market. And it's not the kind of short that is a long-term short. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and thinking that, this is impossible, this is doom and gloom. It's not. This is simply put very strategic analysis. The A wave down the bottom in brackets was a sharp move. The C wave, you can see that it's lost its power, right? So the one thing you have to understand about these kind of zigzags is that this portion right here is the corrective portion of this move, right? So the only real, impulsive moves we're dealing with are the first part and the second part. Now, I've measured this. The target is the red line. You could even say it's 14,000 at this point. What does it matter, right? We're going to use pieces of evidence to get short on this. And you know what? To be honest with you, I don't really think it's going to be that hard to short, right? As long as you pay attention to certain things I'm going to explain to you in a minute. Right? So as you can see, that's looking pretty good. Okay, that's looking like this thing is baked in the oven, ready to come out. Okay, now let's just zoom into the 15-minute chart. Okay, so we've made up our mind. The B wave is done. So now we focus on the C wave. Okay, so now it's all about this area. We don't care about anything else now. We know that this is going to cap off the D wave, right? So here I've got marked waves 1, 2, 3. Now 4 is still in progress. It's almost done, but it's still going. So the B wave expanded in wave 4. Now the reason why this wave 4 is expanding is because wave 2 down here is short and sharp, right? So, alternation in play. This thing is still unfolding. So we haven't seen wave 4. So once we do see wave 4, right? That's coming very soon, right? This is what I think is going to happen, right? We're going to see. So this move that happened recently here, that was a D wave, right? So if you went short here, you got slammed, right? And there's a good reason for that. It's because it's a D wave, right? D waves love to expand, as we know. But so do Bs and Ds. Anyway, the point is that the market doesn't even have the strength to get to its target, that it has to expand its own corrections to get there, right? In a slow manner, in a very choppy way. So understanding this pattern is critical, because then you can then basically prepare for the wave 4 to happen, right? So the wave 4 will occur. Wave E will happen. Wave 4 will be in place. And then you're going to get your wave 5, right? Wave 5 is coming. Now, once that wave 5 has made that new high, right? And then it breaks the low of wave 4, right? At this point. That's when you go short. When you break that low after wave 5 is complete, that will complete wave C, since of this zigzag that started in March last year that completes D, right? So as you could imagine, this is a pretty interesting point in time, because using this particular knowledge, it's not going to be too hard to short this market, right? It won't be. So yeah, bear this sort of thing in mind, because when the time comes, I'm going to put a short trade idea out there so that we can prepare to short it, basically, right? In as less words as possible, that's what we're going to do, right? Because this thing is almost done, right? So we've used the length of A to get our target to the red line. So we've got that. We're going to use wave 4, a break of wave 4 to confirm that this is done, right? You don't really need to do this, but you can also channel this thing, depending where it falls. You can channel it, etc. Wait for a break out of the channel, that type of thing. It's going to be basically the same thing anyway, right? It's going to give you the same kind of indication. So really, it's not really that necessary. But if you like putting things on your chart, you can do that. So basically, that's it. Okay, so I will put an update, short trade idea update, when I do see a couple more waves. But just thought that now was a good time to put this out there. So hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.